in this video, I'm gonna show you how to pull apart your stencil, but first, to make sure you're in the right place at the right spot, you're gonna make sure that your base is dry and that it's already been sanded. So if you haven't done either of those two steps, you can go back to the other videos, do those steps, and then come back here, and then you'll be ready to go. So you will need your sanded base, your stencil, and then in your kit you should have Mod Podge, a little sponge, and then I will show you how to put the wire on as well. So if you have a circle door hanger, just make sure that your two holes that are drilled for your hanger are at the top. So you don't want it upside down, and I will show you now how to do the stencil. So the stencils here are in 3 layers. There's a white layer in the back, a blue layer in the middle, and then the clear layer is on top. So you want to make sure that you are starting with your stencil upside down. We pull apart the white layer first. So you kind of just pull a corner and you would just roll it back. So when you do this, you just want to make sure that all the blue pieces stay down. If they roll up with the white, you just want to kind of roll your paper back down, push your stencil down, and then keep going. So if any of the blue pops up, put it back down. So just like that, we just kind of pinch and pull. If you need to do it slower, then just go ahead and pause this video and push resume whenever you have got your paper off your stencil. So once you've got it all the way off, you can set your stencil on your project. It's not gonna stick automatically. It will let you move it around. So you can kind of see if you want it to the side or in the middle, however you like it. And then one thing that you will need that's not in your kit is just like a little gift card. So you can use a debit card, credit card. You could probably use a spatula or a ruler, whatever you have on hand. And you're gonna smooth your stencil down. So it's okay if there's bubbles in your stencil, that's okay if you wanna work on it and push those bubbles out as best as you can. But sometimes the bubble is in the layer that we're getting ready to take off. So don't worry too hard. Once you have your stencil stuck to your board, you're gonna peel the clear layer off. So you're just gonna find a little corner where the clear can peel off, and you're just gonna roll the clear back. So the same thing as before, you wanna make sure that your blue pieces stay down. If they pull off of your board, just go ahead and push them back down. So just like this. And then that is just trash. So just like that. So if any of your blue pieces came off, you can just set them back on there and readjust it. Make sure that everything's good. And then we're gonna do the Mod Podge. So this is a really important step. It'll help your project bleed less. So I definitely recommend not skipping this step. So you're gonna use this little sponge and your Mod Podge. It smells like glue, so if you're confused on if it's white paint or not, it has a little bit of a glue smell to it. And you're just gonna push your Mod Podge on, just a really thin layer. All over your cutouts, and then you're gonna let that dry. So it should look like this. Really clear, invisible. If it's white or milky, you can either wipe it off a little bit with a paper towel or a baby wipe, or it's just gonna take a little bit longer to dry. But air dry, don't blow dry. Okay, I am back. My Mod Podge is dry. Sometimes if you push too hard on the sponges will kind of shred a little bit. So don't worry, just let it air dry, and then once it's dry, you'll just brush it off and they'll come right off. So you are ready to paint now. I'm just gonna show you quickly how we do it here. You're gonna use a sponge, and I just opened up, I'm gonna use a black paint on my Hello circle. So you're gonna dip your sponge in your paint, tap some of the paint off, and then you're just gonna tap your project up and down, thin light coats. So I'm going to do the whole word really light. I'm gonna let it dry in between layers, and I'm gonna do 2 or 3 layers. So if you want it really crisp and dark, I would recommend 3 layers, but if you kind of want it distressed a little where you can see the background, then you can probably get away with doing 2 layers. first layer. I'm just gonna let it air dry. Again, don't blow dry your stencil, and I will be back in just a second to do my second layer. My first layer is dry, so I'm gonna go ahead and start my second layer. My second layer is done. I'm just gonna wait a minute or two, and then I'm gonna do my third and final layer. Okay, my last layer is finished. I'm just gonna wait just a second to take my stencil off. We don't like to wait until the stencil is dry to peel the stencil off, but we also don't want it too wet. So we're just gonna give it a minute or two, and then I will show you how to peel it off. Okay, so I'm gonna peel my stencil off. Again, if you are not comfortable peeling it off while it's wet, you can let it air dry, but we like to peel it off while it's just a little bit damp. So I'm just gonna find a corner that is off my project, and I'm just gonna pull it up. So obviously, if your paint is wet, you just wanna be really careful that your tape, the stencil tape, doesn't fall back onto the project. And normally it'll break and peel, and that is normal. So now, if you have like a toothpick or one of these little pokey picker tools, you can find one of those. You can use a safety pin, a bobby pin, something like that with a little sharp edge where you can pick these middle pieces out. So it looks kind of crazy like this, but we're not finished. So if you push down on your stencil and you twist, you can pop these little pieces up and then grab them. So just like that. If your paint is too wet, it would be a little bit harder to do. So you might just let it air dry some, but don't blow dry it while your blue stencil is still on your project. Okay. Once you get all your pieces off, you can blow dry it. So that's what I'm gonna do now, and then I will show you how to attach your hanger. Okay, my paint is dry, so now I'm gonna show you how to attach the wire for your circle door hanger. If you're not doing a circle door hanger, then you either have different hardware that is included, or you have a framed sign that just hangs on the wall as is. So if you have a little piece of wire just like this, you're gonna curve it like a little arch, and then you're just going to, from the back, I like to put one end of the wire into each hole. Leave a little room for a loop at the top, and then fold these two pieces of wire up. It's hard to see, but just like that. And then I kind of hold my thumb on the bottom, on where the hole is, and kind of just twist that little piece of wire into a circle. Really easy, nothing too fancy. And then I do it to both sides. So just a couple twists. It should look like that. If you have greenery or a bow, we always staple our greenery on and then we put our bow on. If you need help with your bow, there is a bow tutorial back with the other videos, so you can watch that. And hopefully that answers any of your questions on how to put your stencil on and paint your stencil. If you do have questions, you can always email us at info@shophandmadehome.com. Thank you.